Hello, everyone, again, and welcome. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to this live episode of Langer at the Mic Live. Going to make sure my microphone is turned down again because, woo! Let's go! Let's go! Cole Caulfield does it again. His back-to-back games have to be a little bit quieter on this one because, I just have to be a little quieter on this one. But back-to-back games, Cole Caulfield with the overtime winner. His second goal of his NHL career is another overtime winner, and this time it's even better than last game's overtime winner because this one was against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Man, 3 games in a row, the Habs give up the first goal. They fall behind. Although this game they didn't fall behind by 2, but just like against Ottawa, this game they fell behind after 2 periods. They trailed after 2 periods, and now they came all the way back. They played well in this game. The Habs, they were outshot. They gave up a lot of chances, sure, but the Habs, they should have scored 1,000,000 goals tonight. I mean, Jack Campbell was inexplicably great on the most difficult saves that he had to make. He was inexplicably great on the pass backdoor to Ben Sherratt, on the pass shorthanded from Jake Evans to Arturi Lehkonen, and just until late in the game where Philip Deneau caught a pass from down low and just from a dead angle just buried it 5-hole on Jack Campbell, to tie it up. And then in overtime, Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner have a chance to win, and they can't even finish it. They pulled a Connor McDavid from a couple weeks ago, where it was McDavid and a 2 or 3 on 0 or whatever it was, and they just missed it. And then also the Habs, they had Evans, Petrie, and Caulfield in overtime. They missed it. You know what that means? Sometimes there are just too many cooks in the kitchen. And the only cook that the Montreal Canadiens needed tonight in overtime was Cole Caulfield. And man, what another great finish. Obviously, if you're logging in, feel free to go into the comment section. What I might do if it's busy in the comment section, I'll get to them a little bit later. But Noah in the comments says, never would have thought Deneau would score a crucial goal like that. And of course, Cole Caulfield is an absolute beauty. By the way, Cole Caulfield was taken off the ice. He was taken off the ice at that last minute there in the game when the Habs were going for the tie there. I think because of Deneau to take the face-off, but still, it was weird who was on the ice for the Habs in the last minute there, but you know what? Again, they got the job done. And Roger Delaney there, Suzuki and Petrie assist on all 3 goals. Yeah, 3 points each, man. They are Suzuki and Petrie, they're elite again. Oh yeah, they're elite again. That's why I'm still wearing, can you see it? Yeah, there you go. My number 14. Still wearing my number 14 tonight because they are all elite again. And there's my mom, Jane Horvat, in the comment section. Fun finish. Shout out to Jane Horvat, my beautiful, wonderful mother. But yeah, man, look, and also let's not forget about Jake Allen in this one. Let's not forget about Jake Allen, who honestly, that first goal, and I'll say straight up, that first goal prompted me to tweet at Mike Langer, give me a follow at Mike Langer, that we're starting to see that Jake Allen is maybe not so much a number, or was never really a number one, a true number one goaltender, or at least a successful one at that, because we've been seeing goals that have been a little bit inexplicable from him in the last couple of games, particularly against the Jets. You saw the Trevor Lewis goal was weird. The Stastny goal was weird off his gloves, or off his glove and in. You had the 2-on-1 where he was just thinking, pass, shot, I don't know. And then tonight, the one from the point wasn't really his fault, but it was just a weird one where it's you kind of want him to stop that, even though it wasn't his fault. It was on Romanov, who had a rough game today. Romanov, we'll get that in a little bit, had a rough game today. But it went off. It went, what's it called? It went off Sherratt's knee pad. But then from that point forward, Jake Allen was unreal in this game. You talk about Jack Campbell making big saves. Jake Allen in this game also was just as unreal as Jack Campbell. And Jake Allen, the goals he gave up weren't his fault. I mean, he made what was it? 27 saves on 29 shots tonight. Jake Allen did, and a couple of times, Mikheyev in the first period, bang bang, 2 great saves. He had to deny Nylander a couple of times on breakaways. He had to, just Romanov got caught at the blue line, just fell inexplicably, and I think it was Kerfoot or Tavares just sprang Nylander loose on a breakaway, fell just completely wiped out. And yeah, just Jake Allen was a beast in this game. Also, Noah has his red Suzuki shirt on. Aaron Benson, Ben Miha, Yoel Armia too. Yeah, that whole line between between Suzuki, Toffoli, and Armia have been really, really good. And also Josh Anderson this game. Josh Anderson, this is another game where Josh Anderson could have had like 4 goals. Like I'm saying, Jack Campbell could not handle and of course, Jake Evans there in the comments, Aaron, as well. Yeah, Jake Evans set up Arturi Lehkonen on that 2-on-1 shorthanded in the second period. By the way, the Leafs did not score a power play goal tonight, and the Habs did. The Habs, also the power play was really, really good, and also Shea Weber isn't there. By the way, again, as usual, not wishing for Shea Weber to be hurt, hoping he recovers, but the reality is the Montreal Canadiens power play looks better with Shea Weber not there. And the Habs just on the power play tonight, they were 1 for 4. Leafs were 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. And yeah, just this was a game where like the Habs, they got so many good chances. So like it was exciting. It was an exciting hockey game. It was a great hockey game, much better compared to last Wednesday. I don't know how or why, but the Habs all of a sudden are skating. Like I don't know what that's all about. Like they have their legs, they're skating hard, they're playing good hockey these last 3 games. Even though they got behind early, they've maintained their effort consistently throughout the entirety of the hockey game. And it's translated to them getting the goals they need to come back and tie it and win. And it's really, really, it's been really, really cool to see. Really, really fun to see. Aaron, again, the comments, Petrie seems to play better without Weber. Same in Pittsburgh with Malkin and Crosby, where Malkin shows up when Crosby is injured. That's a good point, man. That's honestly a good point. Petrie stepping up in Weber's absence. I mean, Petrie was also really good when Weber was healthy. Like last week, I think I would say Petrie ascending back to that high level of play started back to last week. Probably, maybe the Leafs game, or maybe even it was Weber being out that Petrie stepped up his game. I don't know if there's any correlation to that, but it's working. Whatever it is, it's working. And Petrie, again, 3 assists tonight, 27 minutes, and did not look tired for any of those 27 minutes. And yeah, Silent Tyson didn't think Winnipeg would lose. Now with the win, by the way, the Habs are now tied with the Winnipeg Jets in the standings. Go figure. They came all the way back. Like at one point, a couple weeks ago, and they couldn't beat the Calgary Flames to save their life. Now all of a sudden, they've won 3 games in a row, and they're tied with the Winnipeg Jets. Like, and honestly, I would be down for the Habs to play the Oilers instead of the Leafs, just because the Habs have handled the Oilers that much better this year. So, yeah, why not? And no, again, playing without yeah, thanks for reminding me. As usual, playing without Gallagher, Price, Weber, Drouin, Byron. Am I missing someone there? Tatar, you're missing Tatar there. But what do you think happens as they all potentially come back as playoffs get closer? The easy answer is that they'll be even better. But I feel like sometimes guys, when they come back in the lineup, it messes with the chemistry a little bit. But still, eventually, those guys will make a huge difference come playoff time. So it'll be huge. And yeah, Sheldon, thank you for the reminder again. Yes, Cole Caulfield is a Montreal Canadien. The guy who had more goals at the U.S. National Development Program than Patrick Kane and Austin Matthews, just matched Austin Matthews tonight. Austin Matthews scored. By the way, that was just Austin Matthews just is disgustingly good. He just, look, the Habs, the Danault, Anderson, Kotkaniemi line. Kotkaniemi got pulled for Lehkonen on that line because that was another guy who didn't have the best game. Kotkaniemi, 13 minutes only on the night tonight. And Romanov also big struggle in 13 minutes. We'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah, just that line did well against the Matthews line. They really did. They shut them for all intents and purposes. They held Matthews to 1 goal, and the goal that Riley scored was essentially an accident. So yeah, just I feel whether it's Matthews. I mean, Matthews has Marner. That's the difference between Matthews and Tavares versus McDavid and Draisaitl is that Matthews and Marner have. Matthews and Tavares have Marner and Nylander and Foligno and Hyman, whereas Edmonton, what do they have? They have Nugent Hopkins and that's it, and Jesse Puljujarvi to complement that. So there you go. And I think there was a stat today where 35 of 30 of 38 something, I'll have to recheck that, of Matthews' goals were assisted by Mitch Marner. So also take away, like Mitch Marner, also another great player, but does Matthews have as great a season if he doesn't have Mitch Marner playing on his line? He still scores a lot of goals like he did tonight, but I don't know if he plays as well as he does if he doesn't have Mitch Marner. And that's just to say that when great players play together, they play really, really well together. So, and that kind of goes without saying, but yeah, just where was I at? What point did I want to make here? Believe it or not. Yeah. There you go. Aaron validating, I think it was 28 out of 38 goals was where Marner assisted on Matthews. And by the way, talking about scoring a lot of goals, A guy on the Habs who scored a lot of goals is Tyler Toffoli, who scored his 28th of the season tonight. Tyler Toffoli career high, I believe, is 31 that he scored as a 23-year-old with the LA Kings. And now he's at 28 goals in a 56 through 53 games or 51 games of a condensed season. Like, and that power play, by the way, just that they could have scored 3 other goals before Toffoli buried that one time, or just great. Like I said, just Petrie and Suzuki, they just found their swagger. They have their swagger back, and whatever they're doing is just, it's working. Like, they're playing much better and they're complementing each other perfectly, especially on the power play. And yeah, just they made it work. Like it was, and also Armia, who's getting power play time, has been really, really good on that top wave. And yeah, Sheldon Matthews would have almost as good a season with Nylander on his wing instead of Marner. Yeah, because Nylander is also a really good player, but I think Marner's better and more consistent than Nylander, especially creating turnovers. Marner took one away from Romanov there, and Jake Allen had to make another big save early in the first period there. So yeah. When great players play together, they'll usually play really well together. But yeah, Tyler Toffoli, man, just keeps it going. Just 28 goals, another power play goal tonight. Canadiens are winning games, and even though they're falling behind and it's not easy and they're giving up a lot of chances, well, they're finding ways to win right now. And these are the way you want to win hockey games going into the playoffs, because you talk about where they were a couple weeks ago, where as soon as they give up one goal, like they get up the first goal and everything, and poop hits the fan. Like, seriously, they get up one goal and everything goes to poop. So whereas now it's like, okay, they get down one goal, okay, fine, but they still keep up their consistent effort. They offensively getting chances, doing what they can, and eventually they bury one. Eventually they bury 2 to tie it. And again tonight, let me remind you guys that this season we have seen the Canadiens in an empty net situation, down 1 late in the period, empty net situation. They have scored more goals this year than they have in probably the last 8 years now. Probably more goals this year than the last 8 years. So just when this team is on, like when they play like they did tonight or in these last 3 games, they weren't winning all these games this season, because if this were early in the season, they'd be losing in overtime. But because, with Eric Stahl and now Cole Caulfield, they have the ability to win in overtime now for whatever it is. And even with Marner and Matthews on a 2-on-0, just making too many passes and losing the puck, and then John Tavares hitting the post, like, even again against the Toronto Maple Leafs and all the firepower they have on 3-on-3, whatever the Habs lollygagging around, just holding possession play is working. But as we saw tonight, if you're going to take that 3-on-1 chance and go for it all, you better hit it. Like, you better score, because if you don't, then that's going the other way, and on a 2-on-0 or 3-on-1, and just, yeah, bad news bears, right? So, but again, I just, as soon as I saw Martin Matthews, man, I just thought, like, game over. Like, that's game over. But they missed. They're 2 $20 million forwards on the Toronto Maple Leafs with a chance to win it in overtime, missed it with the game on the line. And yeah, just like Sheldon, like I mentioned that before with we've seen 2-on-0s with elite players ruining them. Marner Matthews tonight, McDavid and a teammate few weeks ago. I think it was Puljujarvi a few weeks ago. Like, I mean, just it's almost like where there's too many cooks in the kitchen. They try to get too fancy. We saw it again with the 3-on-1 that the Habs had with Evans, and I want to say Toffoli and Petrie or Sherratt. By the way, Sherratt maybe should not be in overtime, but then again, yeah, who else is going to play before him? Maybe Kulak. But with Romanov was playing with the way Romanov was playing tonight, maybe it wouldn't have been a good idea to play him in overtime. But yeah, just in a 2-on-0 situation, just take the simple play. Just take the simple play, one pass, one shot, and take what you have, but don't bite the hand that feeds you, right? So yeah, just way too complicated, and yeah, just some nice profanities there headed towards the Toronto Maple Leafs in the comments there. I'm not going to say that on air, but yes, I agree with you. Beyond your IQ, yes. But yeah, now let us get honest and let us get real with and talk about Romanov in this game here. Romanov tonight, it was probably his worst game in the NHL thus far, and I thought he played more than 13 minutes, 43 seconds that he played tonight. I honestly thought he played more. But like I said, with the gaff at the blue line, with the gaff on the power play, just and the turnover that led to the first goal, it was not a fun game for Alexander Romanov. But you know what? What do I think about all that? I don't care. He's a young player. He'll learn. He'll bounce back because he's been playing well all year. And Romanov still had, what is it? Was that 5 hits tonight? 5 hits in 13 minutes, 43 seconds. So he still plays hard. He's still a factor out there. And by the way, Roger, yes, love your enthusiasm tonight. Have to go. See you in 2. And yeah, Roger, thanks as usual for tuning in. Thank you everyone for tuning in as usual. But yeah, just Romanov tonight. It was a struggle. It was a struggle for Romanov tonight. And it forced Petrie to play the 27 minutes. They did. Even heck, Deneau played 21 minutes. Suzuki played 20 minutes. A Sherratt played 24. Edmondson played 24. Anderson played 20. But here's the thing, though. I find Ben Sherratt is another guy that tonight played a heck of a game. On the PK, like there was an instance in the second period where he threw Alex Kerfoot into the boards like a rag doll. And then on the PK, he got into the shooting lane against Austin Matthews. It was just, honestly, Sherratt, like, we hate on Sherratt for the fact that he doesn't skate well and isn't always the best with the puck. But when he keeps things simple and plays his position well, he takes up space out there. And when he gets the puck on his stick and makes the right decisions and clears it out, makes the easy, simple plays and clears it out, like and hits guys in the corner and is a force. And even sometimes we saw Sherratt leading the rush sometimes and joining the rush. Like, he's effective when he plays that way. And is it because Shea Weber is not on his right side? I don't know, but this version of Ben Sherratt is a darn good version of Ben Sherratt, and he earned every minute of those 24 minutes. And I know I've been one to say load manage these guys, but we also need Romanov to have a better game in the 13 minutes 43 that he played. But overall, I'd say most of the chances were with Romanov. Chances given up were with Romanov on the ice, but also Kulak was pretty steady tonight at 14 minutes, 2 hits. 1 block shot, quiet night. But again, when a defenseman has a quiet night, that's usually a good thing, especially a bottom pairing defenseman. And Sheldon Weisberg, thank goodness, Ducharme is better than Therrien with managing younger players. Therrien would have benched Romanov after the blue line gaff. If anything, like with Ducharme, I wouldn't say Ducharme has given me confidence in his ability to coach. I know a lot of people just really, really have been fed up with a lot of things that Ducharme has done, and also Ducharme only played CAUFIELD 12 minutes tonight, but CAUFIELD, to be fair, 5-on-5 wasn't as effective as he was on the power play. And he hit the post. Like, he had a couple of really nice chances again on the power play. Like, just to think that he only had 2 shots tonight, but again, only 12 minutes, and one of those that he scored on. But yeah, just to think that CAUFIELD, like, he'll continue. Like, yes, it's another overtime winning goal, but he'll continue to get those chances that on the power play, and he'll score eventually. Like, he hit the crossbar. Like, if that's a couple of other inches in, like, on net, that's going in. And also watch the way he did hit the crossbar. Like, and Marc Denis on the RDS broadcast showed this perfectly. Or was it Marc Denis, or was it Vincent Damphousse in the intermission? I forget. But what CAUFIELD did is he was also on his right side, not his off wing one-time side, which was interesting. I think they're trying to set him up maybe for the same thing that Suzuki is scoring on. But anyway, it almost worked, because what CAUFIELD did is he, in one motion, caught and released the puck right away. Caught the pass, released it right away. Not a chance for Campbell to get set, and that's how CAUFIELD beat him high glove. But again, Campbell just played a fantastic game tonight, and he almost stole this one for the Leafs. But again, just he was struggling with what should have been the easy shots. Even Frolik almost beat him with one in the second period. Like, yeah, just it was a struggle for Campbell tonight, but he made the big saves. He struggled on the easy shots, but made all the big saves inexplicably. So anyway, huge win for the Montreal Canadiens tonight, especially with the Winnipeg Jets losing another game to the Ottawa Senators 2-1. Like, give the Senators credit for playing hard, even though they have nothing to play for. Like, and also, you know what? I think the Jets are missing Nikolai Ehlers up front. That's also probably a big part of it. Nikolai Ehlers is out for the season. That's probably a really big loss to the Jets right now, and why they're struggling to score goals in these games. But yeah, now somehow the Habs have come all the way back to tie the Winnipeg Jets, and each point, even if they had lost tonight with a point in overtime, like, every point that they can get gets them closer and closer and closer to that 4th and final playoff spot, or 3rd playoff spot in the North Division. And how about the Montreal Canadiens, man? Just if they It's almost the end of the season. We're almost at the end of the season. Just now, as you get closer, like I said, give guys the night off. Keep resting Tatar, keep resting Byron, keep resting Gallagher. Let them take their time to come back. Make sure they're fully healthy and ready to go. Obviously, Jonathan Drouin, best wishes to Jonathan Drouin. Hope he recovers. Wish him all the best. And when everyone is fully healthy, fully rested, fully ready to go, and that's another thing with Weber, right? Like even though he has an upper body injury right now, if he wasn't listed as injured, right, like the entire season up until last week, like, would Shea Weber have been better off like the way he is now, taking these games off, or playing through injury 23 minutes a game, every single game, 4 games a week, right? What version of Shea Weber would have been better? Again, listed as injury missing games, but healthy by playoff time, or Weber just playing through injury till the end of the season, right? And I think right now with Weber resting, his body not having to deal with 23 minutes of ice time and getting hits in the corner and all that, the wear and tear of playing 4 games a week 4 games a week for the rest of the season. Shea Weber not having to do that is a huge, is going to mean a lot for him come playoff time. And I just hope that Jeff Petrie can sit a couple of games sit a couple of these last games, maybe. Just honestly, again, just do what you need to do to be fully rested. Just fresh, rested, recovered, and ready to go in the playoffs. Perry too. Yeah, Perry's another guy who got his rest in the taxi squad early in the season. Somehow from taxi squad to now power play specialist to wearing an A on his jersey as well. Like, yeah, Perry could also use a night off here and there. Kakaniemi, because just again, now that Suzuki's good, Kakaniemi is struggling a little bit more. But again, just how about the Montreal Canadiens? Third win in a row, coming back from third win in a row after giving up the first goal, second in a row after being down after 2 periods. And there's my dad, Jonathan Lang. Fun to watch Ducharme use the full ice surface in overtime. Imagine if the Habs use that strategy in the first 9 OT losses, they would be challenging the Leafs for first. I wouldn't say that much there. Because let's be fair, against the Winnipeg Jets for a couple of those losses, they tried that strategy and it didn't work so well. But clearly they've been practicing something with that strategy, and whatever it is, it's working. So that's all we have here on this Habs postgame show here on Langer at the Mic. As usual, be sure to give a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike Langer for all 3. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in. I feed off the engagement and the interaction. That's why I've been coming back here for these live streams, these post-game shows for every single game of the season, and will continue to do so until the end of the season and next season, hopefully next season, but at least the end of this season. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning into this live post-game show here on Langer at the Mic Live, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.